Hi there, folks. This is Sam Price with Probate Notes, and we have another great episode. This is with my good friend and my personal trainer, Bruno Bianchi with Body by Design. Hi, Bruno. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I appreciate being here.
It's good to have you on because we talk about so many of these things every day when each time that I'm working out with you. When it's when it's cold and I'm tired and it's dark and I have to come at 6 a.m. to come see you. Sometimes it's really hard, but I always know that I have a good opportunity to learn more about my health and get better for my health myself by seeing you.
Definitely.
So thank you for being here. You're going to tell us a lot about how we can take better care of ourselves. So can you give us a little idea about your background and how you got into fitness?
Sure. Well, I have been doing this for most of my life. I started really early, when I was about 15 years old and play sports. And then it got into, weight training. And from there, really early age, started like becoming a fitness instructor at the age of 18. And then I started going to nutritionists. I'm originally from Argentina. And so from that point on, I started my career as a fitness, athlete, competing, all over the States and so on when I came here to live here. And then I started working with clients since the age of 18. So I have been more than 25 years doing what I'm doing.
I'll tell you what happens and this happens to me. Sometimes I sit at a desk all day long and I'm not moving around much.
Right.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry.
Right.
So I don't eat the right foods. Now I've got to tell on myself to my trainer. Sometimes I get fast food.
Right.
Or something quick and easy to make.
Right.
Sometimes when I go to bed, I'm still thinking about some type of work issues. It's hard for me to switch off. So I'm not getting enough sleep because I'm up late nights.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm working long hours.
Right. Definitely all those are incredible, real points. And almost talking to my clients that whatever, we're going to plan for us, to be better should be realistic. So, and realistic means something that we can do because consistency is the key. It's not about perfection. And big part of all this is we just usually overcomplicate the things when it comes to the fitness aspects. When we think about how much it's going to take for us to be better, to be healthier, we think like we need like all this incredible menu, counting the macros and the micros and whatever you want to call it, or the super routines, and more with the media and bombs of information, constant information we have today. And to be honest, it's much more simple than what we are just every day absorbing from the media or even with ourselves, right? And the key points are the ones that you just mentioned. All those points that you just mentioned to me are exactly the ones that are going to play against us in the terms that we just said about the mental clarity, the energy, the focus, the confidence, and on and on and on. Because it's not about you, it's about what happened inside ourselves. I mean, talking about the hormones are going to be all over the place when we are not having time to eat the right food, when we are not sleeping well, when we are in a rush, when we don't have a routine to disconnect at night when we're going to go to sleep. All those points adds up during the day and make our whole being in physiologically inside how we react. So per se, we are going to be accumulating the wrong tools not to perform the next day, not to have mental clarity the next day, not to have energy. We're going to be crashing during the day and so on. Even if we are looking, of course, it's not like we do it on purpose. We're trying, but we don't have to, we don't know how to organize that simplicity that I'm talking about.
What would be another pillar or principle that people should think about with their health?
Nutrition is a key point. Nutrition would be the very next key point. I mean, each point that we're mentioning or key points are as important as each other, right? But we cannot be winning the war without each of these, right? We need to invest in each of them the same amount of basically commitment. Of course, it should be gradual and so on. But just to mention nutrition is where most people lose the game, basically. Why? Because they eat for convenience instead of eating for energy itself. like you just mentioned, you
I'm
just
there. Yeah.
made my job easier on this side because you just mentioned exactly what happened. What happened is most people, they have constricted times. They're sitting long time hours. They go for the easy, quick fix. And again, think about this. Physiologically, your body, when we are not eating for a long amount of hours or we're stressed, we're burning. When we're sitting and we're stressed using our mind, it's not like you're not burning calories. You're burning a lot of calories. That's why a lot of times when people get stressed, they barely can move because they're so exhausted. Because exactly, you're using much more calories, energy to try to, come up with a solution, whatever you're working with, that make us feel that way. Now, when we feel that way, your brain, without intention, is going to go for the solution, and the solution is going to be, I need a quick fix. I need something right now. I need to eat something easy, something on every time, and it's going to give me energy. That's what we believe. And we go for a fast food, and we go for this, we go for that. And usually, if you pay attention, most of us were craving carbs. We're
Mm.
craving something like it's going to give us immediate energy. That's why the brain tends to crave those carbs, right? Or snacking on things and so on. But sadly, unfortunately, inside, physiologically, it doesn't work that way because as soon as we do that, we're crushing. Crushing means instead of giving us energy, which it will give us energy, but just for 15, 30 minutes, you feel, wow, but then boom, we crash. Because right now, hormones are crashing. And when we crash, then all the other points that we talked at the beginning are going to show up. The mental clarity is going to go away. The focus, the decision making, everything is going to be foggy, or we're going to be super tired. We're going to be even almost falling asleep, napping. Then we need some caffeine and so on. And then we are hungry again and we go for more. That's kind of the cycle, the vicious cycle that happens. That's why, again, we need to be smart as we are in our profession. So we need to strategize. We need to be prepared. So again, make it realistic. Don't try to go for perfection because that's another thing that I'm observing all the time. They try to go from this lifestyle to completely different lifestyle one day to the other, and does not work that way either. It should be gradual. We should be adjust to it, and as we adjust, the body will adjust, and as the body keep adjusting, it's easier, and we start seeing results, feeling results, and then we just can continue that dynamic more and more and more.
So, tell us about the final pillar or principle that you want to talk about for being healthy.
Yeah. Social life, I think it's extremely important. The social activity, I think, is extremely important. I don't think that health is just about gym and food. I think it's also the way we live. I think like that is incredibly important. If we also, pay attention to the blue zone studies in which they are showing the longevity of people in different regions of the world, the ones that are living the longest and with a good quality of life. All of them, they show different pillars, and one of the pillars is that the social aspects. So, and again, we're in a society, and the entire world right now is on the same, path, which is isolation. And why? Because of the media, because we are so in our mind, we're so connected to everything all the time through the media that we spend so much time. But at the same time, that is stealing, in my humble opinion, the possibility for us to, again, connect to, a social life environments, which are extremely important, again, to the response of our body and our balance, hormones, etc., etc. And when I'm saying social, I'm saying simple things, again, like ideas like walking, hiking, sports, it's anything that we can do outside and we're enjoying and we're able to unplug one more time, like the same way that we just mentioned the sleep. We need to unplug from everything else as well and connect to something which is the nature. I truly believe that the farther we are from the nature, the more decline it happens to the human